let's get this big voice going. I think it's a job for any artist sonically, if you have vision within sound, is going back to really old school ways of messing with it. Draw it out. Draw the picture, draw the diagram of what the shape's going to be. Because all of this stuff can help us now more than it ever did. I always said that my sound is it's an analog sound in a digital bubble. It has all of these layers, but they're in this bubble and they're all floating to this surface and exploding at the top. And you're hearing this mind candy that we need to hear sometimes. I have a tree house at the bottom of the base of the house. It's where the magic happens. You know, it's got, you know, railway sleepers for a floor and a boat. And I look at the root of a tree and I lie in the boat and I just close the door and it's got perfect sound in there. It's got beautiful sound, you know, and it's got beautiful reverb. And I'll play something in that room, just one loop of melody from my speakers, from the studio that creeps into the hallway, this sound, because I'm listening to the ghost of the sound. And even if I sit in the same room with that sound, I'll sometimes go and write in the other room because I'm hearing the sound traveling. It finds me these other notes that aren't there, which is weird. But it's great for my writing process. I think it comes from a natural place, and the art and the people involved can actually bring something to your project that's not just built on hype and how many records they sell. You know, I think that, you know, I like collaboration because no man is an island. I like the idea of working with other people. I think Bowie taught me the most just by doing one track with a fella. But the fact that he turned up at my nightclub week in, week out for a period that he did. It was like 4 weeks where he came every week. And he just sat on the steps of this place and said, got a great place here, man. A lot of great ideas happening here. And the fact that don't do what's the obvious. He wanted to make a drum and bass record. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do my low, my Eno. And I made Truth. It was a ballad. And it's still a ballad today. But it's a ballad that the old Duke, you know, allowed me to do. And I always remember him saying on the documentary with Saturn's Return, and he said, you know, Tom, it's a brilliant album. I mean, I'll tell you this now in front of him. Even if he makes a pile of shite for the rest of his life, it's fine, he's that timeless. And I'm like, quid's in though, you've still got a chance, son. And I remember that, because I remember that everything else I made after that was kind of shit. Because it's about an artist trying to find himself, always. And it's only now I really, truly realise what he really meant. I have to reinvent everything. And this album's about reinvention. There were some sparks in the embers, though. There were, you know, on Sometimes Sad Day was on Cine Tempo. There were some pieces. The Monkey Boy was on Malice, which was a good track. They weren't great albums. They were, you know, trying to find myself in different things. I look at people on the label that aspire to be like me and wanted to create into this whole other area of stuff. And Metalheads as an entity, not as a guy who has a personality, but as an entity, a skull with a pair of headphones. Music will last longer than all of us when we're dead and gone. And the greats are going and they're falling away from us. But no man is an island. To the people that have allowed me to grow. There are engineers now that go beyond engineers that have allowed me to grow. I mean, James Davison is a genius. He's a guy that's way beyond any engineer I've ever worked with. This is a guy that I've gone back to engineers and gone, I've never met anyone since Rob Playford who could do certain things. Let's try this, guys. This is what we're going to do. Here's a drawing. Here's the studio. We're back in the studio. This is what we're going to do. This is the idea. Yeah, but we can't do that. Okay, so I'll get back in the river like a salmon and I'll keep swimming upstream. As soon as I started to, you know, the idea of James coming to Thailand to come and do this album, I said, we're going to do some different things that you're not going to be used to. So yeah, fine, cool, okay. And I said, I want to start on Prism. I'm going to put him right at the deep end of my conceptual being. We're going to Prism. Okay, cool. Are you ready? Yeah. So we're going to do some time signature stuff, right? He's going to, yeah, cool. Let's do it. And he's just ready. And I found someone that, God help us all, really, because he's just prolific. When the music comes from a place where it's so beautiful, I don't even know where it comes from. I'm just channeling. And you then share that love. It comes back in other ways. Jose James does a beautiful version of Truth, which is the Bowie track. I said to David, who I try and speak to as often as I can, about greatness or about me being not great and him being the absolute God, making, recomposing it, still following the original structure, but creating something beautiful that comes out of these two speakers that absolutely that you realise very early on that it's not coming out of speakers, it's in the room with you, it's a deity, and it will just go inside and just grab your heart and pull it out. Because I'm really fed up of music going through the head, because of the math.
Would you kiss the sky? Would you kiss the sky for me? Oh, for me.
Well, I felt that the way I delivered it to him, the way I sang it to him, how it should be. He knew the original. I gave him the original. I gave him the new version in the way the vocals. I writ them all out. They run the same, but they're delivered differently. So that's David's homage. That's Jose James. And I think one of the main points for me in challenging the sound in my head and what I hear from the notes being played aren't the notes. It's the sound around the notes. It's the air that the speaker leaves behind, which is the ghost in the machine. It's the ghost notes.